So apparently there is a ranking list made by women of the most attractive hobbies. Even though I'm married, I'm very much hoping that other D&D nerds are going to look out and D&D is going to be on the list. But I'm not going to assume those chances are very high.
Can your hobbies make you more hot? Can they make you less hot? Recently, an organization called Date Psychology surveyed 840 men and women, asking them a series of questions to find out what the most and least attractive male hobbies are. And today, we're going to go through it. We're going to look at the least attractive hobbies. We're going to look at the most attractive hobbies. And let me warn you now, guys, some of these hobbies on this list are going to upset you. And some of these hobbies on this list are our hobbies. Number 10, least attractive hobby that a man can have, according to women, is makeup. I mean, yeah. Okay, what's number 9?
Yeah, that's kind of a weird one to be on there.
Crypto. Ooh.
Yeah, everybody knows a crypto bro. Kind of agree. If you enjoy the idea of crypto or you invest in crypto, that's one thing. But if you're like a full-blown crypto bro, that's another.
Dude, I am all about blockchain. Like the idea behind it, I'm into it, dude. Decentralized stuff. Keep people from taking crap away from you. I'm all about it. But it's not my hobby. It's like one of those things where if it's your job and it's a good job, then that's one thing. But if you are like a sous chef and then you're like, oh, I'm into crypto as my hobby, it's kind of like, all right, I can see how that's unattractive.
Yeah.
Crypto, fine. Self-identifying as a crypto guy, not very attractive.
Yeah, and you kind of have this like mindset of like the typical crypto bro. That's who you're thinking of.
Again, not up to me. This is what the girl said. Number 8. Cigars. Cigars as a hobby. I get it. If you're just like smoking Black and Mild constantly, like hanging out the side of your window, 100% that's super weird. This is an easy thing to not look cool while doing. Are you guys familiar with the Italian?
That's definitely like a guy's thing anyways, and it's not even like a modern guy's thing. I don't know too many modern guys that are super into cigars anymore, but it used to be a big thing for a different generation.
Term sprezzatura, it's the ease at which you do things. So you can have an outfit, and if you look like you're not comfortable in it, then you don't look cool, but you can take that same outfit and put it in a guy who's like chilling in it, and he's got sprezzatura. It's like chillness, and you look natural doing it. If you look natural smoking a stoke, then you're Arnold Schwarzenegger. You look cool, and I don't care who tells me different.
Well, yeah,
Governor looks cool while smoking a stoke.
I smoke my stogie anywhere I want because I'm a stud.
But as a hobby, like your whole hobby is cigars, that's accurate. Don't smoke anything. Life's hard enough. All right. Number 7. Clubbing. Clubbing ain't a hobby, dude. Clubbing is a lifestyle, dude. I don't necessarily know if like going to a club and dancing is a very unattractive thing. Girls love dancing, and girls love a guy who will go dancing with them.
Well, see, the thing is, the guys that go to clubs, like that are like, oh, I'm going to the club, either like typical Jersey Shore style, whatever, or you're really just there to hit on women, and that's why 99% of guys go to clubs, or they're there, or they're forced there by their girlfriends or whatever. And I hate clubs. I've only gone to one a couple times due to the people I've been with, and like as soon as I get in there, I'm like, yeah, this is why I don't come here. I hate everything about this place. And even the guys are like, the guys that are like really into going to clubs, those are the ones that are like just waiting for a girl to be remotely in a spot where they can come up and dance on them. It's so creepy and gross.
But again, I think these people are imagining that first date, you're sitting across from each other at a restaurant, you're getting to know each other. It's like, so what are you into? If off the bat some dude is like, I like clubbing, I picture Jersey Shore
exactly
type
See?
Guy, you know? A guy who's like maybe doesn't have their priorities straight. I like clubbing. But that's not to say that going to clubs and dancing, like if this were dancing, I think it would be much more attractive. So what do you like to do? I like dancing. That's something to think about. So what do you like to do? I like clubbing. Ooh. It doesn't have the same ring to it. You know what I mean? Number 6. Marijuana. As a hobby? Marijuana is my hobby. What are you into? Marijuana. It could potentially.
Yeah, that essentially just becomes your whole life at that point, because that's like, hey, this mind-altering substance is my hobby. Oh, so like it'd be the same if somebody said, I like taking pills as a hobby, or I like drinking as a hobby. Like it's not a hobby. It's just something you do to relax a little bit. That's all.
Actually enhance your hobbies.
Exactly.
Going to a movie, smoking a J, cooking after smoking a J.
More of an add-on.
You know, like it used to be kind of like an outlaw thing and allowed you to be sort of a rebellious person. But now that it's legal, it's just like drinking. It's like being into drinking. And so like if you were like, hey, what's your hobby? Oh, I like drinking. It's like, yo, okay, this will be our last date. Again, to each their own, but as a hobby.
And I know some people that are like really into like scotch or whiskeys and stuff. And that's more like, oh, I like brewing, or I like the idea of these like cocktail mixtures or whatever. But if you're just like, I just like to drink, that's different.
Just my opinion. And 840 women. The number 5 least attractive hobby that a man can have according to women is Funko. The first brand name on the list. Collecting little things with big heads is the number 5 least attractive thing that a man can do as a hobby.
There's a lot of Funkos.
I'm surprised that it's above marijuana. I'm surprised it's above cigars. I'm surprised it's above makeup. I wonder if this one is associated with the other things that it suggests that you like. Funko suggests, I like entertainment stuff so much that I have created an entirely new hobby just to show people who come to my house how much I like that stuff. And while I'm not one to judge, I could see how a woman walking into your house and seeing your wall of Walter White dolls might be like, I don't know if I want this guy to be the dad of my kids.
Yeah.
Dude, but like anything in moderation is totally reasonable. I have little toys hidden all over my house. So there's like Hot Wheels here. There's a tiny little Paul Walker above a door frame watching over us.
Yeah, I got a few random figurines around and stuff, and somebody even gifted me a couple Funkos, but I don't like keep them mint in box and stash them away and present them. No, they just kind of hang out and that's it.
Blessing us. There's a Takume Fujiwara hidden somewhere. If you ever come,
I'm taking everything.
don't let this happen to you. I'm excited to announce a special discount from our safest sponsor, Simply Safe Home Security.
They're sponsored by Simply Safe.
We partnered with Simply Safe to bring you an exclusive 60% discount on a new home security system.
So I'll make sure that
old school system.
I'll make sure that this video is linked down in the description. If you want to check out their sponsorship, feel free to do so. I don't want to take away from that. So all their links are down in the description. Feel free to go check it out. $1
Install
a
it
day.
yourself, or you can get it professionally installed. It was ranked in the best home security systems of 2024.
And I will say, like, home security systems from some companies are total scam. And if you can get like an affordable one, it's actually worth it.
By U.S. News and World Report, and recognized for top customer service by Newsweek and USA Today. And speed watchers can get an exclusive discount on a new system. Save 60% on your Simply Safe security systems when you sign up for a select professional monitoring plan and get your first month free. Visit simplysafe.com/speed to customize yours. There is no safe like Simply Safe. Number 4.
Here we go.
Arguing online.
Basically a professional internet troll. Not even
Again,
professional.
dude.
Just
What are you into? I like fighting online. About what? Anything. This is a big thing now. The debate thing. Tell him to debate me. Tell him to debate me. You would never debate me. That is the nerdiest thing I've ever heard. And I did speech and debate in high school. It could be argued that this is a synonym for Reddit. Again, I like Reddit. I think Reddit is one of the best platforms on the internet. One of the few bastions of what I think the internet should kind of look like is Reddit. But my hobby is not arguing with other people on Reddit. I'm not damning the things. It's if it's your hobby. I will admit that I did argue with a few people when we uploaded our first few videos. Argued with a couple guys. I don't know if I argued with them.
Although I've had people on some of my videos that will click in just based off the title and thumbnail and just say, "You're just wrong. I'm not even going to watch this." And they will blatantly say they have not watched the video and don't plan to in the comment. It's like, all right. Thanks for clicking in, I guess.
That's how guys who argue online probably think too. It's like, I'm not arguing, I'm getting them. That's what a lawyer does. I like arguing in person. That's not a hobby though. That's a job. He's getting paid for it, so it makes it better. Yeah, that seems like a number 4. It makes me really excited for 1 through 3. All right, number 3. Poor. Being poor? Oh, but Jesse didn't want to write it. We might get demonetized if we write poor. Should I say corn? That's what they do on TikTok. All right, corn. Yeah, dude, if that's your hobby.
If that's your hobby, that's kind of bold to be like, hey, I'm just really into this stuff. It's like, okay.
Get help. And if that is your hobby and just like right out of the gate, you're like, this is what I'm about. Kudos to you for bravery. Much better to just come out with it and admit stuff and be about it than to bury it. This one's real tricky, dude. This one's real tricky. It's your hobby. You know, I'm not a guy who's like, dude, don't goon. I'm too old for that. All right, dude, as a hobby, I think in general, if that's your hobby, I don't know if that's healthy. Number 3 least attractive hobby a guy can have is any sort of. Number 2, gambling. No surprise here. This is one of the ones that I saw when we first found this list. And I asked Riley if it was accurate. And she was like, well, it depends if you win. I'm just trying to put myself in the head of it.
Yeah. And I always say, and I've said this on the reaction to a Vegas video thing. If you're gambling, just assume that you are paying money for the entertainment of gambling. Don't go in with the expectation that you're going to win, because that is not the best mindset to have, because most of the time you won't.
The people who took the survey, and I think, oh yeah, that would be unattractive for a guy to just be like, ugh.
And anybody that says they know how to game the system is 99.999% of the time full of BS.
Babe, let me hold $4,000. Let me hold another 4K, babe. Like, let me hold another 4K, babe. I could totally see as a potential partner, if you're looking to have a life with someone, to build an empire together, I could totally see how gambling is a hobby that puts that at risk. Like, it's going to take a lot of Funkos to lose the house. You know what I mean? Like, gambling, you could do it in a hand. You could put it all on black and be like, yeah, well, hey, remember how we've been working towards a future? Yeah, we're not doing that no more.
I've known people that have a problem with that stuff, and they start being like, oh my God, I don't have money to get my kids Christmas presents. It's like, yeah, you should probably stop freaking gambling. Get some help, man.
But if you let me hold 4K, I think I can get it back. And then some. Not surprising. All right. We are now at the number 1 least attractive hobby that a man can have according to women. I really don't have any idea what it is. Heroin? Get a little sip of coffee. I hope it's not caffeine. The number 1 least attractive hobby that a man can have according to women is Manosphere. Huh? Is that like guys on the internet?
stop standing like a nerd?
Don't be a balanced broke.
Six-pack abs.
When you live life chasing your balance, you get
you're going to have a hard time replacing me.
I mean, what do I have to say about this? 98% of our audience is male, and a lot of them are young men. And I do acknowledge that there are specific challenges and hardships that young men have to deal with, and I don't know if they are currently given the amount of attention that I think they should. But like, I think that like this just preys on that fact and is sort of a perverse, nerdy way of handling that stuff.
Yeah, it does take you down a bit of a rabbit hole. They'll come in with like one or two things that are true or that feel true, and then get you to spiral down to something that's so far off that it can start getting a bit unhealthy.
So I don't know. One of the reasons we started this channel, and more I want to like have those conversations with you guys and help you navigate some of those things in ways that like I either did or didn't have people to help me navigate those things when I was younger. So yeah. Luckily they are attracted to some stuff though, huh guys? We are here, guys.
5 most
there
attractive.
There is hope. I'm not just telling you what's wrong with you. I'm giving you some stuff that might attract the opposite sex. All right. Number 5, most attractive hobby a man can have, according to women, is woodworking. Dude, this is like, again, everyone was given a list and they had to be like, okay, yeah, that would be attractive if someone did that. Like, of course, woodwork, like working with wood, a super attractive thing. Nick Offerman woodworks. Number 4.
Yeah, it's like I'm building things with my hands. It feels manly. It feels good. But at the same time, I think conceptually it sounds better than it is, because if a woman likes a man who's into woodworking, they got to deal with the constant sound of saws and sanding and all the sawdust. And like, when it comes to the actual practical application of being into a guy that's into woodworking, it might not live up to their expectations.
Cooking. I totally get this. It's attractive to be able to feed your mate, to feed a potential
I'm not the best cook. I can cook a couple things. My wife likes those couple of things. She knows that the rest of the time I need some help. But this is justifiable.
Family? Dude, cooking is so attractive. I just read 2 Anthony Bourdain books, and I was thinking, Anthony Bourdain is so known. The Bear? Oh, girls love The Bear. We're all buying expensive white t-shirts because of this guy. Matty Matheson, not a traditionally attractive man, but he's got zaddy status because the knows how to cook. This one makes sense. If anything, I'm surprised it's at number 4. Makes me salivate for number 3. Number 3, most attractive hobby according to women. Playing instruments.
That I do.
Jealousy's bubbling up a little bit.
Not great
I
at
think
it, but
this
I do
is
it.
a best case scenario, worst case scenario. And quite honestly, I'm surprised that cooking is not above playing instruments. I think when someone sees, oh, playing an instrument, they're thinking John Mayer. They're thinking this guy's going to doodle on a guitar and he's going to Dominic Fike me a song like I'm in Euphoria or something. But guess what else is an instrument? The trumpet. Guess what else is an instrument? The tuba. I'm not saying those are unattractive
Yeah, it's playing specific instruments
to play, but a guy who's good at guitar, 100% attractive. A guy who's bad at the violin, maybe not. Being bad at an instrument quickly goes from being very cool to being annoying and douchey. Number 2, foreign languages. It's more of a thing than a hobby, isn't it?
It's just
and
like
I think we're getting
a thing
into
you can
like
do.
Twilight novel arena of women imagining men that don't exist. This is the first one that I'm like, all right, okay, you're getting fooled. If some guy's like, oh yeah, like my hobby is learning foreign languages, he's trying to appear like he is something that he probably is not. Sorry, ladies, that guy does not exist. Unless you're Xiaoma NYC.
Yeah, so this dude who goes around speaking in other languages to people, and he's like, I learned them super fast. I dove into a lot of his stuff because my wife speaks a different language. I was working on learning it. It's very difficult. But she, of course, speaks English, so it's not like we don't talk. But this guy, he knows Mandarin or Chinese because he spent a significant amount of time studying it. He lived in China for a while, and then he proceeded to go and learn a bunch of other languages. But he's like, oh, I will go and learn a language in like 2 weeks, and then I'll go talk in that language in the other country. And then if you look online to like the people that actually speak that language, they're like, well, he's trying to say that he's fluent, but he's not actually fluent. He just kind of speaks a few broken things here and there. And that's more really what he's doing, which is still impressive. But to say he's fluent is a bit of a misconception. Either way, it's cool to be able to speak a bunch of languages, but it's not really like a hobby for most people unless you're like super extreme like this guy.
You're probably lying. Guys, we've made it. We went through all of the non-attractive ones.
And I think he's right that like people are starting to imagine people that don't exist at that point.
We've gone through a bunch of the attractive ones. We finally reached the number one most attractive hobby a man can have according to women. If you do this, you're probably doing okay, gentlemen. And if you don't do it, maybe you should pick it up. Number one most attractive hobby that a man can have according to women is
D&D.
Looking on Facebook Marketplace at old Japanese cars that are broken. All right, for real though, the number one most attractive hobby that a man can have according to women is reading. Dude, this one's free. You ever heard of a library? This one's awesome. This one's easy. Easier than woodworking. Definitely easier than cooking. Cooking's a good one, though. Playing an instrument, definitely easier than playing it. We can all do it. We just got to do it. Should I start sharing books that I'm reading with you guys? You guys.
So my wife would not care about most of this list. She would be excited if I could speak her native language, and she would like it if I cooked more. Absolutely. My wife probably does not care at all about my instrument ability. She almost never cares about woodworking. We tried to refinish a table. It was very painstaking. And she definitely doesn't care about what I read.
You guys want to start a book club? Should we do that? Should we start a Discord? Are we becoming best friends right now? Dudes, if you can prove to me that you read 16 books by my birthday, March 19th, I will buy you a pizza. I'll do it, dude. I'll figure it out. Guys, let's get hotter together, dude. Let's make the boys smarter. We're bettering ourselves together. I'm surprised exercise didn't make the list, but I encourage you to do that.
Yeah, exercise isn't going to make the list because you always see gym bros and stuff. But this is speed. But so essentially, if you want to really attract a woman, read a book in another language while you're playing an instrument and make yourself some mac and cheese and build a shelf. That's the way to get the best girl in the world, apparently.